Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, rather. Welcome to the Commission Press Room.
Bruxelles, 30 agosto 2016. La commissaria europea alla concorrenza, Margrethe Vestager, tiene una conferenza stampa in materia di aiuti di Stato. Ha una decisione molto importante da comunicare a tutta l'Unione.
The European Commission has today adopted a decision that Apple's tax benefits in Ireland are illegal. Apple now have to repay the benefits worth up to 13 billion euros plus interest.
La decisione è storica, ma se la Commissione contesta 2 accordi fiscali tra Irlanda ed Apple, contemporaneamente non mette in discussione il modello di tassazione dell'isola. Eppure è attraverso quel regime che imprese multinazionali come Apple, Facebook o Microsoft abbattono i ricavi e quindi le tasse che devono pagare nei paesi europei. Durante l'intervista che ci ha concesso presso il suo ufficio a Bruxelles, le abbiamo chiesto il perché.
The Irish have decided to change their tax systems by themselves, and it's their responsibility. A couple of years ago they started to outphase what is known as the double Irish, part of the mechanism to allow for some of the things that you just mentioned. And the Irish are working with the rest of the member states when discussing the legislation proposed by my colleague Pierre Moscovici on taxation in general. My responsibility is to see if tax rulings are used to give a selective benefit to some company which are not open to other companies. And this is a competition tool. If you want a fair market, then it shouldn't be for member states to give out money to specific companies in the form of tax benefits or cheap loans or something like that.
Hello, I'm John Engler, President of Business Roundtable.
Quest'uomo si chiama John Engler, ex governatore repubblicano del Michigan dal 1991 al 2003, è il presidente della Business Roundtable, cui aderiscono le principali multinazionali degli Stati Uniti. 20 giorni dopo la decisione annunciata a Bruxelles da Vestager, 185 manager riuniti nella tavola rotonda guidata da Engler hanno inviato una lettera aperta firmata proprio dall'ex governatore all'Unione Europea. La richiesta: adoperarsi per ribaltare la decisione.
It is somewhat tricky. It shows the differences between the US way of doing things and the European way of doing things. Here we have been very strict over the decades to say that specific benefits to specific companies, it's not allowed because it's not fair. In the US, it is the order of the day that a company can negotiate the tax with the state where they have their business. So there are, enormous differences in how we see things. I think it is quite obvious if you write a letter to 28 heads of state and government, well, then you want to influence things. From the Commission side, well, we have taken a decision. It is based on our rule of law, and of course we stand by it.
La già debole credibilità europea in materia di tassazione equa dei grandi colossi è stata travolta recentemente dai casi dell'ex presidente della Commissione europea, José Manuel Barroso, entrato a far parte del gruppo Goldman Sachs, e della ex commissaria europea Neelie Kroes, fondatrice e amministratrice di una società offshore alle Bahamas.
Of course I do hope, but of course I'm in no control of that people think what they think about Barroso and about Neelie Kroes, but do not then jump to the conclusion to say that, well, they're all the same and the institutions are all the same. Also because I find here so many not only very competent and very skilled people, but also very dedicated people.
Resta un punto. Quali sono gli strumenti più efficaci per contrastare l'evasione fiscale e le triangolazioni con paesi come Irlanda, Olanda o Lussemburgo?
I think it is very important for the members of the Council to discuss the proposals by my colleague Pierre Moscovici. One of my own favorites is country-by-country reporting. Because if you have public country-by-country reporting, then you know for each big company, number of employees, activities, turnover, profits, and taxes to be paid. If there are, as in some cases, no employees and no activities, well, then you would like the company just to explain to you why they still have a very large turnover and a very large profit in that specific country. For me, the important thing is how can we change? Because I find that in order to have a fair society and to have a fair market, both for the just newly started business, for the medium sized, but also for the bigger ones, then you need fair taxation. And I think that we step by step can make things more transparent and better, but I don't think that it is in the making to have one tax system in Europe, because the countries are very, very concerned about the role that taxation should play in the decisions of what businesses to be in our country and what jobs then to be created in our country. But I think that we can go to some length. Public country by country reporting, as just mentioned. We are preparing a proposal for a common corporate consolidated tax base, which will not only make it much easier to see the multinationals, but it will also make it less painful for the smaller ones to pay their taxes, because it becomes much more simple. So I think step by step we can make it much more open and much more transparent for citizens who do not have much choice as to whether they will pay their taxes or not, to see that also the businesses where they do their daily shopping or who serves them in the different things they need, that they also participate and they also pay their fair share of taxes. And in that process for change for the future, in my experience, it has never really helped to point fingers and say that in the past you should have done something else, because now we can say, well, here we are today, let's change for the future. And I think that slowly but surely change is happening, which is a good thing.